The new season is almost here and it is quite substantial. We have obviously our 2 new heroes and then also some balance changes that do affect Hog 2.6 matchups. So I wanted to talk about everything this update will change for Hog 2.6 players, starting with Hero Bowler. So to understand how Hero Bowler is going to affect us and change things, let's really quickly just talk about how we normally deal with Bowler. Bowler is often found in Graveyard decks and Balloon Freeze decks. In our Graveyard decks, we obviously do need to be cautious about Bowler because if he crosses the bridge and our tower locks on and then they place Graveyard, we're kind of screwed because Bowler has so much health. In Balloon Freeze decks, it's normally more of a nuisance. It's not necessarily as dangerous as Graveyard decks, in my personal opinion. Now, Hero Bowler is going to be slightly different, but not in the way I had feared. Because in my opinion, the biggest issue with Bowler is its health. Now, for only 2 elixir, Bowler basically turns into a mortar, where instead of it sending its little like stones, it's sending its boulders at the nearest target. It can be used multiple times while he's surviving, so it can be used every 22 seconds, and it does more damage than usual. So this is actually not as bad as I thought initially when I saw there was going to be a Hero Bowler, because don't get me wrong, I hate Bowler. It turning into a mortar is stressful, yes, because it'll take our troops off the board, but I don't know, is it really going to be that bad? It looks like it has an 11 tile range around, so it might be able to hit our cannon if it's up high, which is unfortunate. I've never had to worry about Bowler sniping cannons necessarily, but yeah, and it also doesn't move when it's using its ability, so I do wonder if that's something we can exploit with Hog Rider. If it's already locked onto another troop, we can probably sneak our Hog Rider by. Really fast, I want to talk about a few balance changes that do affect us before we get into Dark Prince. Number 1, Giant Skeleton is getting a buff and a nerf. Let me explain really quickly. Giant Skeleton's death damage is increasing, but not for tower. It's actually decreasing for tower. So when it dies, it'll hit our troops and damage them a little bit more. So that kind of just means if a hog is next to it, a musketeer is next to it, when the bomb is dropped, it'll get more damage. But lower death damage on the tower is so good for us. One of the biggest issues with Giant Skeleton, in my opinion, is you can never make the trade-off of a few hits in order to save elixir, which you can usually do with other win conditions. It's like you have to overspend sometimes, or you have to spend your last drop of elixir just to keep it away from your tower. Now it'll be slightly better. It'll be 640 damage on your tower, so you obviously don't want that damage, but it's not as devastating as it was before. Our second balance change that is really important for us is Hero Barb Barrel is getting nerfed, so it's only going to roll 3 tiles instead of 4. Thank God, dude. Normally you don't have to defend Barb Barrel unless it's rolled like all the way onto your side of the arena, but with the hero, oh my gosh, like it's so hard because like sometimes they will roll it, sometimes they won't. So it's like, do I spend the extra elixir to defend that guy or not? I would assume because it's 1 less tile that might equal to 1 less hit. I'm not sure yet. Electro Giant is also getting a few changes. Its hit speed is faster now and it starts hitting sooner, but the tower damage it does is a little bit lower. So this just means if you accidentally have your cannon and musketeer in lightning radius and they get rid of them, it'll start attacking your tower sooner and faster. The last one, and the one I'm actually most excited about, is Evo Goblin Drill getting a nerf. Now only 1 goblin is going to come out on the second submerge rather than 2. Thank God. I know it's just 1 goblin, but that does add up because sometimes they can get to 2 Evo Goblin Drills, and that's a lot of damage that we won't have to worry about as much anymore. Now let's discuss Hero Dark Prince. Dark Prince is also oftentimes in Giant and Graveyard decks. Dark Prince is normally not that scary to me. As long as you kite properly, he's really not that big of a deal. I think even if you use your Musketeer turret before you cross the bridge, it can take him out, but I would need to double check that. But with this new hero ability, it's completely different. For 3 elixir, he spawns a little Ram Rider. So he keeps his shield and he stays on his own. And then the little Rhino makes his way to the tower and like does a whole bunch of damage. Overall, that's very concerning. I don't think that's fair, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. So all of a sudden, Dark Prince is a win condition. This is a really big issue for Graveyard decks and Miner decks because in both of those decks, the troop your tower is locked onto is very important. So like for Graveyard, Dark Prince is not really a big deal. Your tower locks onto Dark Prince and they put their graveyard down. The Dark Prince doesn't have that much health. Like it's not as bad as Bowler in my opinion. But if there's like a Rhino that has a bunch of health and your tower is locked onto that and the skeletons, if they can get both of that in one push, it's over. You're cooked. Also for minor decks, if the tower is locked onto the Miner and the Rhino is attacking your tower, you're also cooked because your tower is not going to be attacking the Rhino. This is going to be an interesting one to see how it changes the way we play, especially because I think a lot of people will be playing it that don't normally play Dark Prince. Anyways, this should be interesting. Those are just my predictions based on my own opinions, so let me know if you disagree in the comments.